This video is light reverse engineering and aligning a 3D scan to coordinate. Once you've gotten your 3D scan, you can go ahead and insert it. When it comes in, it's simply going to be floating in the air because it's not aligned to anything. It's just how you scanned it. You can just click OK. From here, there's steps that you have to take for this to work. If you don't follow these steps, it's not going to work. The first thing that you want to do is create a new component. And just click OK. The body that you imported, you need to drag into the new component. See, it slightly changes color. That means it's there. Then from here, you need to go to Mesh Add, Mesh, Modified, Direct Add. Select the part. And what we're going to do is construct. You want to make a plane through 3 points. So you're going to pick 3 points on the mesh, and it's going to make a flat surface. I know that this part right here should be flat. And it creates a plane. If you're not happy with it, you can try 3 different points. But this should be fine here. And you need to make 2 planes in order to align it. So we'll go do it again. And I'll use this side here because I know that this is flat. And that creates that one. Click OK. We're done with this. Now from here, we're going to align these planes to the world coordinates. So we need to turn this origin on. So we can see this is the world coordinates. But before we do that, we have to go to the component, right click, unground from parent. Now we'll be able to move it. Go to solid, modify, align. It's going to be on the component or bodies, component, from. That's going to be this ground plane. 2, we're going to align it to the ground plane of the world coordinates. Then once you do that, click OK. As you can see, the bottom is aligned. Then we can do it again for the second plane. Going to align this plane to one of the sides. Then click OK. And as you can see, it's now aligned. So if that's all you need, then you would be done. You can go to Utilities, Make, STL, and you could just export it there. Or if you have a different format that you want, you can use that. But if you're wanting to do light reverse engineering, then these would be the next steps you would take. You go to Mesh, create a mesh section sketch. This is going to tell you about the positioning because the part was originally in a different position and you've moved it. So it's asking you, would you like to do the mesh sketch off of the original position or the current position? You're going to go with capture. So now you need to make your sketch. We'll do a sketch this way to get this section. Select the body. Then you want to select the plane, which is this one down here. As you can see, it creates a cut or slice through the actual STL model. We'll just do a top view. Now drag this to about center. With Fusion, it snaps, as you can see the distance over here. So it's 5 increments. This looks like about 450. So you just type that in. Might be a little bit less, let's say 425. That looks good. You click OK. And right now it just gives you an outline. In order to add that outline, you have to come to where your sketches are. Add sketch. Go over here for solids. One second. There we go. Fit curve mesh to sections. I'll turn off the body so you can see what's going on. This is the section view of the mesh, and you want to fit your sketch to it. This is a circle, so we come over here for circle, and you can just click on it and it creates a circle there. This one's also a circle. You can do the same thing. Then you can do a dimension if you want to add a dimension to it. This is what this is coming out to be. This most likely is going to be a 7.2. Do the same thing with this circle here. This one here is most likely going to be a 7.7. Now you can go through and finish the rest of this. This right here should technically be a circle, but the way Fusion picks it up, it's not picking it up since everything is chained together. The same for this one. So you can do a closed spline, or you can do your lines, your arcs, and your splines to fill it in. But doing this works for this example. And you see how it highlights everything? This is the path that it would take. You can double click and it fills it in. Then click OK. And as you can see, you have a closed path that's actually ready for extrusion. Click Finish. Then you can go for Extrude. Now we need to turn this body back on. We'll do a top view. And you can drag it out to see how far you want to go. Fusion here will snap in 1mm increments. If you need less, just type in what you need. Since this is two-sided, you can do symmetrical, which they'll both come out equal, or you can do two-sided, so you can adjust each side independently. And you adjust until everything lines up with how you want it. We'll just turn off some of this stuff here. And if we turn off the original mesh, this is your first sketch, your first extrusion. Everything looks pretty good to the body. Now what we're going to do is get this curve here. So we're going to make a sketch on this outer side. Then come back to mesh sketch. Then it's going to say which body, this body, which plane. We've already clicked the outside, but if there is no plane selected, then you can click, it's a little hard to see, we'll click cancel. So select the plane first, which would be this part that we created. Then you can select the body. And as you can see, it makes the outline for that side section. Turn off the bodies as it's easier to see. Now we want to make this section here and this circle. And for this sketch, we would do the same thing. Double click on the sketch, create, fit curves. We know that's a circle. You can double click to make the circle. Now for this portion here, I'll show you how to do it just by following the lines, creating your own sketch. Since if we use it, I'll show you in fact. If we did the same thing here, it's going to pick up on all the unevenness of the scan data from the mesh model. So this is why we'll just create our own that's going to be smooth. And we'll get something like that. Turn back on the mesh. You can kind of see what we're going for. So what I'm doing is, since we're on this outer side, I'm going to create a piece so that I can cut it back to this side here. I'll just hide that. And this right here will be fine for me. We'll just do something like that for now. Finish sketch. Turn back this. We'll extrude this. The new sketch we just did. We want to extrude it up to this body. Right there looks fine. We're doing a cut for this. So that cuts it in. This portion here, ideally should follow that, but just for this example, we'll just leave it like this. Now you need to do the same for the other side. So we'll flip to this side, click that, create a sketch. We're going to turn on the previous sketch that we did. We're going to go create, project, and then we're going to click all the lines that we did from the previous sketch so that it will put those lines into our new sketch that's on the opposite side. Then click OK. That sketch is done. Finish. Extrude. And we're going to do the same thing. It's coming up as join, not cut. Make sure you change the operation to what you need it. Make sure you also click all of the points that you need to fill in the body. And there you go. That's the first steps into reverse engineering. So this top portion here was bothering me. So we can fix that. You simply have your timeline down here. We'll go back to the original sketch for the side, which is this one here. Just double click it. What we're going to do is get rid of this line here, this portion here. Just create a line this way. And what I want is to follow this line. You can create a line and follow it, or you can project the body into the sketch. On bodies, select the body. Now if I hide the body, you can see this purple line that outlines it. This gives me everything that I need right here. So this is finished. Now you're going to get an error about the second sketch because things have changed from the projection. You remove this line here. You remove this line and this one. So what you want to do is do the same thing as projected in. It's from sketch 2. So now it's projected in. We can go ahead and delete this line and that line and finish. If we turn the body back on, this side's updated, but this side's not. Go back into the sketch, not the sketch, the extrude. Pick which portions that you need. We need to unselect this portion here. And then there you go. All of that part is done. This follows the body line much more better. You can add your fillets if you need to, or anything else that you need to. And that's how you do light reverse engineering. You can export your model. These are the formats you have. I believe if you have the paid version of Fusion, you could export this body as a step file. but I only have the free version. I normally don't use Fusion. I have other design softwares that I use. You can also do what is known as hybrid modeling. This is where you use the mesh and you simply cut away by using CAD items. For example, filling out this hole, since it's a little rough from the scan, you can make it solid. In order to do this, you have to convert the mesh and convert, and it'll convert it into a usable file for Fusion. Most of the time I use this one, which is going to just have the triangles and how everything is. This method here will try to group light triangles together to make solid walls. If you click it, you get a warning that there's too many triangles. You can reduce the triangle count here. As you can see, it reduced the triangles. You can see more of the black lines as there's less triangles. We'll try and convert it again. Still getting a warning, but this time I'll just go ahead and take it and just wait it out. Once you click OK, it'll start processing. You might notice that the sides have turned black on the sidebar. This is normal for Fusion, at least for me. Just kind of wait it out. And it's finished when your model's turned black or a dark gray color. This is the STL, but it's now in the Fusion format. So what we can do with this is create a sketch. And for this hole here, I'll create a circle. And then just create one bigger. I'll dimension it just so you can see it better. Finish. I'll extrude it. We'll hide the body just to see it better. That's fine there. So we filled this hole in. What I can do is extrude again. We'll hide the body. There we go. The center here, extrude. We'll extrude it both ways. Turn this body back on. And you have it where it went through. But as you can see, some of that is not cut out right. We'll exit out of this. And we'll just do the whole process again. And as you can see, it's a little laggy now. This is because it's attempting to cut the actual mesh. If the body is not visible at the time of the operation, it generally will not group it. For me, Fusion is not really good at doing this hybrid modeling. It works okay, but for me, it seems to have a lot of lag. Reason I use other programs. But I know a lot of people like to use Fusion. Once it's finished processing, you can go ahead and click OK. And I don't believe it's my computer specs. I have a 14 Gen i9 with 64 gigs of RAM and a 4070. Now, as you can see, it cleaned all that up. So now you have a nice clean hole. And you can do the same for the other. If you need to add anything, you can do the same thing. And as versus cutting, you would simply merge the models together. Then once everything is done, you can always export it again. So I think that's pretty much it. That covers everything. If you have any questions, feel free, post them in the comments below. Thank you for watching.